Okay, grade 11s, let's take a look at this, the question you guys asked about here. A rock thrown upward with an initial velocity of 14 meters per second. So this is the speed at which a rock would leave someone's hand or whatever. And that's factored into this equation already, so you don't have to do anything with this. The motion of the rock can be modeled by the equation h of t equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 14t. So in this question, I think it probably alludes to what these represent, but a rock is thrown up, so h is going to be height as a function of time. So as the rock is in the air, time passes. The time is the input variable here to calculate the height. And this is the function by which it is governed. So it's a parabola that opens down, okay, right? So at some point it's thrown upwards, it reaches a maximum point, and then it comes and hits the ground somewhere. So we know it's a parabola that opens down. So to the nearest hundredth of a second, for what period of time is the rock's altitude greater than 6 meters? Okay, so what you'd want to do, so with graphing technology, you can graph this, and without graphing technology, what you have to do is you have to generate some points and sketch it. And then again, it's a multiple choice, so you should be able to sketch and get these points somewhat within the accuracy here that's required. So if you notice, we actually have a lot of the same pairs of times, which generally, when you're taking a test, that might indicate that those are the numbers you're actually going to be focused on, right? In the question, if 3 out of the 4 answers have them, it's a good chance that those are one of the 3 correct answers before you even start. Not always, but most times. So we know it opens downward. What else do we know? Can we factor something out of here? Well, I don't know. Do you want to just find the vertex? That would be a good idea. So where's the vertex? But you want to find, looks like, you also want to factor in 6 meters, okay? So 6 meters is the height. So we want to find out at what time, here and over here, at what time, right? Time 1, and here's time 2. At what time is this rock, however it looks here, okay, the path of the rock, at what time is it at or greater than this? So what time is the altitude greater than, at or greater than 6 meters? Nope. For what period of time is the rock's altitude greater than? So not or equal to. So you can take off or equal to here, or equal to looks like right away. Okay. Now we're opening downward, right? We're opening downward, so it appears that C is the correct answer. Is C the correct answer? Okay, now I didn't do any math there. Why? Now, I would suggest you confirm with math, but did you follow the process there so far? Right? Greater than 6 meters, so it's not equal to. So if we have a time, the or equal to is not correct. And this is what you can do if you have multiple choice. Scratch out the answers that don't make sense. If it opens downward, we know the rock travels up to a maximum peak and then travels back down. So if this is the 6 meter mark, even on our rough sketch, I know that I'm looking for a time between some time 1 and time 2. So not less than this many seconds, right? Not greater than a certain number of seconds. That's where the rock would be less than this given height. So we are looking for this time period, which the only option would be C. And if you want to find the actual points, let's say this is a short answer question, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to solve this equation. 6 equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 14t. So you're going to go like this. You're going to use the quadratic formula probably, and you're going to find the answers, the roots, which are going to be these numbers. Okay? Once you have those roots, those are the intersection points between these two, right? Between these two graphs. Then you want to just think through that, maybe use a test point and see a point between these two numbers right here. Does that yield a value that's greater than 6 or less than 6? And then you know. Okay? Now, for how long is the rock's altitude greater than 6 meters? Okay, again, this is a multiple choice question. If you got question number 1 correct, then you just, I guess, subtract those two. Is that what it looks like? The answer is B, 1.81 then? Okay. So again, you're looking for a time period between time 1 and time 2. It appears that time 1 is 0.53 and time 2 is 2.33. So that's how you can work through that. Does that answer your question, Teresa? Yeah? Okay. Anybody else have any further questions about that one? So there's probably at least five different things there that you would have to know coming into this question to be able to piece the answers together like I just did. So again, the background stuff that we've learned, what you know about quadratic equations and how they open, you know, what the rough graph would look like, and all that sort of stuff. So if you know these pieces to the puzzle, then it makes finding the answers a little bit easier. And of course, the quadratic formula, you're going to want to make sure you remember that. X equals negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And there's a really annoying song for that one too, if you remember, right? So, yeah, with actions, right. Recently we made up actions. We need to sing it again? Yes. You want me to get my guitar out and sing it? Yes. Okay. X equals negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. A little bit faster now. X equals negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. A little bit faster, okay. X equals negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. What? You want me to go faster? Okay. X equals negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Yes, it's all over 2a. Good? Yeah. Okay, where's the roaring applause? Okay, that's fine. No, please, you don't have to. No, you don't have to. It's okay, please. All right, you good with that question? Good. Any other questions? Okay, so this other one says graph the inequality here. I'm just going to do a rough sketch here. There's a few pieces we need to know about, right? And some of you had questions about this. This kind of threw you off saying, hey, there's no constant here. How am I supposed to factor a trinomial with no constant? Well, first of all, the constant is 0 if you care. B, you don't have to treat it like a trinomial with 3 terms. You can treat it as a binomial. And it does have a common factor, which it's easiest just to factor this puppy. So y is greater than 4x times x minus 3. See that? With those two factors, what you can see is the root to this equation, okay, if this were an equation, the roots would be x equals 0, because that's what makes this one 0, and x equals positive 3. That's what makes this one 0. So if it were an equation, you'd have roots of right here 0 and 3, okay? Now, it's not an equation, it's an inequality. However, we do understand that this is a parabola, boom. It opens upward, boom, boom. And to complete our proper sketch, there's two other things we need to notice. The boundary that we draw needs to be dashed. And the final thing for 100% on this question would be, let's accurately draw where the vertex is. Okay? That would be the final thing. If you didn't get the vertex, if you didn't bother with the vertex, if you just did this, okay, and of course, you're going to draw this better than I am because it's tough on this tablet, but you're going to draw a parabola here with the vertex there. Now, listen, some of you I saw in your quizzes did this. Like, you're really poor at drawing, and you did this. That's bad. Do not do that. That's not what a parabola looks like. I'm gonna hammer you on the exam there if you do that, okay? So you're gonna lose marks there. I don't think I took marks away this time for the quiz. But just be careful, okay? I'm not a great drawer either, so if you're not an artist, don't complain to me. All right? Just try not to let this go wonky, okay? It's not true. All right? Now, if you just did this, you probably, and you filled this in properly, so what's properly? Well, what about 1, 1? Or 1, 0? That's in here. Let's test that. Okay, so 1, 0 is 0 over here. 4 times 1 minus 3. So 0 is greater than 4 times negative 2. 4 times negative 2, that's negative 8, right? So that is true. So that means that we have this shaded in. So if you just did this, you might get 4.5 out of 5 or whatever, 9.5 out of 10 or whatever. But the vertex here is pretty easy to find, and that would make a complete, really nice detailed graph, okay? And how do you do that? Does anybody remember, or anybody, like, how would you go about getting the vertex here? Because this is not vertex form, is it? There's two ways I can think of right away that you could figure out the vertex. Anybody want to tell me one of the ways I'm thinking of? Yep. Okay, the x value of the vertex, which is the axis of symmetry, is negative b over 2a. That is correct. That will get you the x value of the vertex right here. And then you plug that into the equation to get the y. Yeah, was there another one over here? That's great. What, another one? You could complete the square to make it a trinomial, then what? And then you would factor it, I guess, or what? Okay, so, yeah, okay, so complete the square, change it to vertex graphing form. I got you. Then you know the vertex. Yes. Yeah, that's fine too. Arguably, this would be a little bit easier. Probably even the easiest thing, okay, this is what I would tend to first. Because you know that parabolas are symmetrical, if you have any 2 points that are in the same horizontal plane, like these 2 points right here, you know that the vertex must be exactly halfway between those points. So because this is 0 and 3, you know that this x value is 1.5 for the vertex. And then you plug that into your equation. Now, you'll get 1.5 if you use this thing that just disappeared on me. You'll get 1.5, yeah, if you, oh, did it automatically start again? Negative b over 2a, so that is x equals positive 12 over 2 times negative b over 2a, 12 over wait, what? Long day ahead of us. 12 over 8 is actually 1.5, thank you, yes. So that's, you get the same value for your x, okay? So that's the other way you can think of that. Which is 1.5, and it turns out to be 9, I think, right? So there's your vertex. So this is a 9, negative 9 here. Negative 9. Okay, good. Any other questions? Awesome. Okay, those are questions from 9.3. Yeah, hope you get that.